Tony Oden. Now I got to talk about you. Now I got to talk about you. They brought you in from Miami. Your background was coaching man-to-man coverage. It's a zone coverage team, and they're forced to call a lot of zone coverage right now because the techniques you're coaching or allowing in man-to-man coverage are not techniques. I mean, look, you may know more about man-to-man than me, but the way I learned it is when you put a cornerback in bump and run man-to-man coverage, press coverage. Jason Verrett, for example. You like to do that with Jason Verrett. How come Jason Verrett never even tries to jam the wide receiver? He doesn't even lift his hands. What is the point of putting a cornerback right in a wide receiver's face if he's not even going to attempt to get a jam, slow him up a little bit? What is that? What is the benefit of playing press man coverage with no press? I'd like to know, because it wasn't helping him. It's not like you'd be like, hey, in that one particular case, in this one, not getting his hands on the receiver was actually the good call. So what is that? And then once Jason Verrett doesn't get the jam and he's in man-to-man coverage against Beasley or Diggs, and Diggs runs that little whip route where he goes up the field and cuts inside and then quickly cuts back to the outside, that little double move. It's not really a double move, but there's two moves happening there. Jason Verrett, man-to-man coverage, misses, doesn't get the jam, doesn't attempt the jam. He's trailing. Diggs makes that first move to the inside. Verrett takes his eyes off of Diggs and looks at the quarterback. Did you teach that, Tony? Is that a special new thing that you taught? Because what I learned in my extensive years coaching and playing is that when a DB is in man-to-man coverage, he's looking at the man he's covering, not the quarterback. When you peek at the quarterback, you get dusted by the man you're supposed to be covering. And so Verrett looks in the backfield. Diggs runs the other way. He's open by like 6 yards and gains 8 on 3rd and 5. Good job, Jason Verrett. So I don't know what you're teaching Jason, the no press, peek into the backfield technique. That's good stuff. And then Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's the opposite. Instead of lining up in a wide receiver's face, he lines up 10 yards back because he can't run. And if a wide receiver runs a double move where he runs it at Richard Sherman and then stops and then goes again, like a stutter go, happened in this game, Richard Sherman doesn't have the quickness to stop his feet and start again. So he just grabs the guy. He says, you know what? I'm going to take this this pass interference penalty over the touchdown. So he's just conceding things in man-to-man coverage. He plays deep. He'll grab people that run by him. On shallow crosses, he won't even really try. He'll play 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. A guy will run a shallow cross, and he'll kind of trot across the field and be like, hey, someone else will tackle him. What do you want me to do? And then on any third down, he just plays way deep. And if it's underneath him, sorry, I'm not getting beat deep. I'm going to blame it on someone underneath in the zone. And then at the goal line, this happened against the Bills, he'll line up too deep. He'll line up on the goal line, and then he'll give ground for no reason. Just back up 2, 3, 4 yards and let Cole Beasley catch an uncontested touchdown pass right in front of him. That is the Richard Sherman trifecta of terribleness for man-to-man coverage. Tell me you're not teaching those things. I mean, I know Richard Sherman has limitations, but did you tell him, hey, on 3rd and goal from the 5, line up on the goal line, retreat 4 yards deep, give up a touchdown right in front of you? That's how we're going to play this one. Was that you? Robert Saleh has to call zone defense because the man coverage technique is terrible from everyone except really Emmanuel Mosley, and he is kind of inconsistent with his technique too. He'll give up way too much space in the sideline. And then Tavarius Moore, former 3rd-round pick, really athletic, runs a 4.3. How many missed assignments is this guy going to have in one game? I mean, when Saleh calls man, you got Jason Verrett and Richard Sherman blowing it. And then when he calls zone, you got Tavarius Moore, like, has no clue what to do. Like, does he know what the rules are in cover 3? When you're in the flat and the slot receiver runs vertical, you got to carry him up the seam. Does he not know that? I mean, there was that play. And then he gave up a touchdown because he didn't even get lined up correctly before the snap. He was too close into the line of scrimmage, got picked. So your free safety can't get lined up correctly. That's a 7-point mistake. Then you guys call some fancy coverage called Palms coverage. You make an adjustment before the snap. Sherman makes it. Greenlaw makes it. Warner makes it. Jimmy Ward makes it. They all do this little thing to signal that they're on the same page. And Travarius Moore's in the secondary, like, he has no clue what he's doing. Now, that's his responsibility, but it's also yours, dude. What is Robert Saleh supposed to do when the free safety has no clue what his job is in zone and the two corners can't cover anyone in man-to-man coverage because they're old and their technique is atrocious? Tony, you're not doing good. Between me and you, you're doing a terrible job. You got to step it up. Tell Jason Verrett never to peek in the backfield again in man-to-man coverage. And tell Richard Sherman, don't just concede touchdowns at the goal line. Stand at the goal line. Do that thing where you commit the pass interference play at the goal line rather than give it the touchdown.